Good afternoon, groovy citizens, and happy winning Wednesday. So y'all know what that means. It's the middle of the week, which means we only have 2 work days left, unless you work the weekends. But otherwise, the weekend is almost here for all of us. So I don't know about you all, but my week has been very long and very busy. However, it's been very productive as well. The countdown is on because my sister's wedding is this weekend. Now, unfortunately, I will not be able to vlog while I'm there, so I'll just have to tell you all about it on Monday. And you know what? I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to vlog on Saturday, because I know we have so much stuff that has to be done. I'll have to see about that. But in any case, I'll tell you all about it on Monday. Okay? Promise you. Now, let's jump into today's topic. But before we do that, you all, it's not a bad day here. It's overcast. It was raining this morning. It's now 57 degrees. And it's not raining anymore. Thank you, Jesus, for that. I'm not sure if it's supposed to rain anymore today or not. I hope not, because I need to finish getting my Christmas decorations in the yard. And see, when you're plugging in lights, I ain't fooling around with no wet grass and stuff. So what I did do was put up the stuff that does not require electricity. But I do want to finish putting the deer and the lights and all that kind of stuff in the yard. So fingers crossed that I'll be able to get that done tomorrow. Because if not, after that, the only time I'll be able to do it is on Sunday. But nevertheless, let's jump into today's topic, which is, y'all, I'm loving this. Be careful of the voices you listen to. Be careful of the voices you listen to. And so I'm going to share this quote with you, which is by T.D. Jakes. And he says, you have to change the way you talk to yourself. That's powerful to start off by saying you have to change the way you talk to yourself. Now, I don't know who this video, or I should say this message is for, but I know I'm speaking to somebody. And you really do need to change the way you talk to yourself. And I wish I had, and we'll unpack it a little bit. But if this is you and you need some help with this, reach out to me and let's talk. He said, because if you continue to talk to yourself the way you do, you will always be where you've always been. Come on, somebody. Let me say that one more time. If you continue to talk to yourself the way you do, you will always be where you've always been. And like I said, I don't know who needs to hear this, but I need you to change the way you talk to yourself. He says, it is what you say within yourself that heals you. Okay? Understand what I'm saying now. It's what you say. It's what I say. It's what we say to ourselves that heals us. Come on, somebody. Because the reality about it is, is your definition of excellence rises no higher than your level of exposure. When you talk back to those negative voices, you shut down the enemy. Now that'll shout you right there. That's your shouting moment right there. And some of y'all missed it. I'm gonna say it one more time. When you talk back to those negative voices, you shut down the enemy. And it's not always, see, we think of shutting down the enemy as hearing the voice of other people. You know, maybe your friends or your family or coworkers or neighbors or whoever. Sometimes that negative voice is the one that you're hearing up here. And you need to shut it down anytime negativity you start to hear that negativity in your head, whether it's coming out of your mouth or it's in your head, you need to shut it down quick. I mean, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Do you understand what I'm saying? Shut it down, because it serves you no purpose. So sometimes the pressure you go through is pressure allowed to reverberate in your head. I'm serious. Do you ever realize, or have you ever thought about the fact that a lot of times we go through so much unnecessary stress because of the voices and the conversations that are going on in our head? And I've watched people stress themselves out over something that never actually happened, but they were, in their minds, it was happening, and they were playing it out of how they're going to do this if this happens, what they're going to say if someone asks that question, and none of that ever came to be. It was all that negative voice that they were hearing in their head. Well, what did T.D. Jakes just tell us? You got to shut that thing down. Now, here's a question that I have for you. This is my own personal question I want you to think about. What is going on in your head right now that is keeping you from living your best life? I want you to really think about that. And I'm not asking you to provide me with an answer unless you would like to share. And if that's the case, that is great. But I want you to ask yourself, what is going on in your head right now that is keeping you from living your best life? See, some of you all aren't living your best lives, and there's a reason why you aren't living your best life. It's because of conversations that are going on in your head. It's because of things that you are assuming will happen that probably won't. It's because you're worried about what other people think and or are saying about you, and they probably aren't thinking about you one way or the other. So I really want you to think about, what is it that's keeping you from living your best life? And like I said, if you'd like to share what that thing is, absolutely wonderful. You can respond to this, you can comment below, or you can send me an inbox message, or if we know each other, we're close enough, you can just call me up, let's have a conversation about it. But if not, that's absolutely fine. But I want you to really, really think about what I just said. And this lady better watch out with her backing out, because I'm telling you now, if she taps the end of my car, I'm not gonna be thinking anything. Y'all gonna see it play out. He says, I found out that it's not what they say about you that limits you the most. Now I want you, because here's another shouting moment, and I don't want you to miss it. Here's another shouting moment for you. He says, I found out that it's not what they say about you that limits you the most. It's that you might believe them and start saying that same thing to yourself. See, in life, a lot of times people say things and think things about us, and they say it to us, and so now we're saying it about ourselves. So that's why if somebody has ever said to you, you'll never be anything, and you never aspire to be anything, it's because you heard what that person said and you started to believe it. So now you're telling yourself, I'm not going to be anything, so why should I try this? Why should I try that? Why should I try the other? Y'all need to shut that down. Shut down the enemy. And then he says, there are going to be people that will tell you you won't be anything. Just make sure you aren't one of those people saying it out of your mouth. So there are going to be people in this life, if they haven't already done it, trust and believe it will happen, because that's just part of life. They're going to tell you that you're not going to be anything, that you can't do anything, that you won't go anywhere. And sometimes they're just saying it to because they want to be mean, or sometimes they're saying it because maybe your mom or your dad has gotten under their skin, and you remind whoever that person is saying it is of the person that they're really mad at, and so they can't take it out on the person that they're mad at, so they take it out on you, or they see you trying to excel further than what they've ever gone, and so they're saying that to you in order to discourage you and make you want to back down, pipe down, if you will, and not do anything. So you've got to be careful about that. It's not what other people say about you that really matters or counts. It's what you believe about you. So in other words, as Bishop T.D. Jakes always says, it's not what other people say about you, it's what you say about you. So regardless of what they think, honey, you better think just the opposite. So he says, there is a time and a season for every purpose under heaven. Everything that dies in you is so that something else can be born in you. So when something inside of you dies, doesn't matter what that thing is, trust and believe God already knows what he's doing. He's allowed that thing to die, or those things to die, because he's trying to birth something new in you and out of you. But in order to bring forth the new, he's got to get rid of the old. So don't think that he's doing it just because he wants to see you suffer, because I promise you he doesn't. Sometimes people will call you a name and you start living up to the name, and it limits you from what else God wants you to do in your life, and an appreciation for the value of life, and a refusal to allow anybody to take away the great privilege of being alive. Y'all be careful, again, about what people call you. See, I like to say it's not what people call you that really matters. It's what you answer to that matters the most. See, somebody somewhere calls somebody a slut or a hoe or a freak or no good so-and-so, and so now you're starting to live up to the name that was given to you. Y'all better cut that out. Don't let what somebody called you dictate how you live your life, how you move, because people can say whatever they want. You can't stop them. Let them say what they want, honey. You just laugh and keep on moving, okay? Or you give them the hand and keep right on moving. Sometimes I give you the hand minus 4 fingers. But that's just me. I'm a work in progress. I always say this. Y'all pray for me just like I pray for you. But you get what I'm saying. Let people say whatever they want, but don't you live up to whatever it is that they've called you, okay? So he says, at the core of everything, I say don't be limited. Don't put a period because you did one thing that you can't do something else. Let me stop right there. And then he says that you can't evolve as an individual, that you can't explore other idioms of thought. So some of you all are putting a period because you've completed that task. Okay, I've gotten my degree. Now I can put a period. No, you don't. You put a comma. You've gotten your degree, comma, now it's time to go and start that business, or now it's time to go and get that corporate job that you've been studying so hard to get. Now it's time to do whatever else it is it's time to do. Stop putting a period every time you achieve a goal, because here's the thing, every time you achieve a goal, that's great. That is absolutely great. I give you 2 thumbs up. But guess what that means? That just means now you've got to start working on the next goal. Never, ever, ever stop wanting to achieve something new. I don't know about you all, but every time I achieve a goal that I set for myself, I pat myself on the back and I say, great job, Michelle. And now let's go on to the next thing. I'm never going to stop wanting to achieve all that life has to offer. I'm just not. It's just like learning. Every day without fail, I wake up and I say, Lord, let me learn something new today that I did not know already. And sure enough, every day I learn something new. It doesn't matter if it's something small, something medium sized, or something just truly huge. I learn something new every day because there's always something new to be learned. Now, when you get to a place that you think you know it all, honey, I don't know what to tell you, because I don't ever want to get to that place. I want to always be learning something new. Then he says, you came from the dirt, and where you came from, it will always call you back. Wherever you came from, it will always call you back. And again, that quote was by Bishop T.D. Jakes. So here's a quote that I want to give you. I'll say a few more words and I'll let you be. And this quote is by Winston Churchill. And he says, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And when I saw that quote, I said, oh my goodness, I have got to share that because somebody needs to hear that. I'm going to have all of this in the description box, but I want to say this one more time because I don't know about you all, but that quote just, I don't know, it just does something to me. And I'm going to share it with you one more time. He says, success is not final. And what did I talk about? Not putting a period behind every time you finish a goal. It's just comma, move on to the next thing. Failure, it's not fatal. Okay, so you failed at that class, or maybe your marriage didn't work out, or that relationship didn't work out, that job didn't work out, that home didn't work out. Whatever that thing is that you failed at, it's not fatal. It really isn't. That's just giving you another opportunity to be able to go back to the drawing board and try something else. Maybe God is saying, I need you to go back to the beginning, look at what went well, but then also look at what didn't go well. Figure out what you can cut out, but also figure out what you can do more of. Whatever that thing is that went well, you might want to do more of that and less of the stuff that didn't go right. And even the stuff that didn't go right, guess what? You can go back to the drawing board and figure out how you can tweak some things to make it work. But the thing is that failure is not fatal. He said it is the courage to continue that counts. So I don't know about you all, but when life, you know that old saying, when life hands you lemons, make lemonade? That's essentially what that quote is saying. Okay, you failed at something, but that doesn't mean that you can't get back up, brush yourself up. That doesn't mean that you can't hold your head up high and still work towards achieving whatever that goal was that you set for yourself. The problem is that in life, too many times people get frustrated because whatever it is that they're trying to do, it doesn't work out. And you say, okay, you know what? I tried. I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm over it. I'm not doing this anymore. No, you can't do that. I've said this before. If everybody decided to give up because something that they tried to do didn't work out, you would have a ton of unsuccessful people. All of the people that you and I both know that have achieved great things in life, do you think that they achieved those things just because, they tried it the first time around? No, I promise you they failed at some things. Things didn't quite work out the way they wanted. And they had to do a whole lot of tweaking to make that thing work. But the thing is they did not give up. They kept pushing forward because they knew that if they kept pushing forward, that it was eventually going to work out. I saw just yesterday where Walt Disney, yesterday would have been his 121st birthday or 22nd birthday, one of them. But his name did not become famous because he gave up. I'm pretty sure there were people that laughed at him and said, and in fact, if I'm not mistaken, I did read that people laughed at him and said, this is never going to work. Really? Are you serious? But look at this great empire that he has built all around the world. And not only did he build something great that people have loved over the years. I know I have been able to go to many of the Disney theme parks in Florida and have had a great time. But had he not stuck to what he was trying to do, I wouldn't have been able to go to those theme parks. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I'm able to go to those things because Walt Disney didn't give up. Even when folks laughed at him, he refused to give up. And so that's all I'm asking you all to do. Keep going. You look at people, and we've talked about this before, but you look at people like KFC. He kept pushing forward. You look at people like Les Brown. They told him that he was never going to be able to achieve anything. But look at what he's achieved. So all I'm saying to you is, as I stated in the beginning, is be careful of the voices that you listen to. And the worst type of voice, you're going to get voices all over the place. You're going to have, like I said, family members. You're going to have friends. You're going to have neighbors. You're going to even have enemies and co-workers. And the list can go on and on and on of people trying to tell you that what you're doing is a waste of time, that you could be using your time to do something different. Or so-and-so tried that. It didn't work for them. Okay, well, that's them. That's not me and it's not you. So you don't give up just because it didn't work for somebody else. Guess what? Maybe it wasn't meant for them to find success in whatever that thing was, but it is for you. So stop giving up just because somebody else gave up. Stop listening to people say, oh, well, in our family, we've never been able to achieve success. And I don't know if your family would say that, but even if they did, so what? They didn't achieve success. Doesn't mean that you can't do it. And too often we hear that, or I should say people hear that, and their mind starts to say, well, you know what? Why should I bother? Because nobody else has achieved success. Nobody else has gotten a degree. Nobody else has started a business. Okay, again, and y'all know I don't like to say this, so what? So what? They didn't, but maybe it's your calling that you do. Stop giving up because other people gave up. So now you're listening to these outside voices trying to deter you. But the worst one, really, you guys, is the voice that you hear right up here. It's this voice that really keeps you from achieving your goals. And I cannot stress this enough. You have got to stop listening to those negative voices. Let me say this. If what people are telling you, if it's not encouraging you to become a better person, to keep pushing forward in whatever that thing is that you're doing, you need to cut those people off. I mean, you need to, with the sharpest pair of scissors that you can find, you need to cut them off. Why? Because they mean you no good. They don't have your best interest at heart. And here's the thing. A lot of times people will say, well, I'm just looking out for you because I got your best interest at heart. Some people truly do. But when people are speaking negativity in your life, honey, they don't have your best interest at heart. They have their best interest at heart because they're afraid that you really are going to achieve whatever that goal is that you've set for yourself. And everybody's going to applaud you and clap for you and smile for you and cheer you on, but nobody's giving them any attention. That's why they don't want you to achieve that goal. I'm telling you, I've seen it happen before. So push that negative voice to the side, be it from the outside world or whether it's coming from up here, push it to the side and keep going for whatever that thing is that you have decided that you're going to achieve. Because I believe in you. I believe that you can achieve anything that you put your mind to. I believe that if you stick with it and you don't give up just because, things didn't work out, I believe if you keep trying, again, go back to the drawing board, figure out what you need to fix, make some changes, tweak here, tweak there, try it again. And you'll see some success. May not be where you want to be completely, but you tweak it again and you try it again on this level. And then you have some success, you tweak it again and you try it again on this level. You have some success, you tweak it again, you try it again, and you just keep doing that until you get where you want to be. And I promise you'll look back on this video and say, wow, you know what? Michelle was right. I'm glad I didn't give up. I'm glad I didn't give in. I'm glad I didn't let those negative naysayers talk me out of what it is that I wanted to do. I promise you will. Listen, you guys, that's my time. Go out there, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, enjoy the rest of your week. But whatever you do, be careful of the voices that you listen to. I promise you, if you do that, you will get so much further along than you could have ever imagined. If this is your first time watching my video, I want to say thank you for joining me. Welcome as always. You're always welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday for some encouragement. If this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. Y'all know I miss you when I don't get a chance to see you. And go out there, like I said, enjoy the rest of your day, you guys. Be the phenomenal people that I know you are. Because I know you all are phenomenal individuals and there's so much greatness in you. But I need you to get out there and I need you to just explode at the seams. Don't let anything or anyone hold you back. Listen, y'all know the drill, you know the spiel. I love you to the moon and back, and there's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, that you can do about it. So don't even try, because I'm going to love you no matter what. And I'm going to encourage you no matter what. Doesn't matter how ridiculous your plan is or how far-fetched it sounds. I'm going to encourage you anyway. You know why? Because I believe that God gives all of us a plan. So who am I to try to tear you down and tell you that you can't achieve something that you truly believe in? If God gave that vision to you, I say go for it and make it happen. Love you all, and we'll talk again on Friday.